Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji.
Dr. Bati looking dapper. He's taking instructions. Yeah. I love your
seriously.
navy blue jacket.
From you and Ijoma.
Yes. You look great. Tundu, you look excellent.
Thank you.
Fuchsia, right?
No, Coral.
Okay, I'm worse than you, Dr. Bati. Good morning, how are you? Good morning, Rufai, how are you?
Morning, Oji. How you doing?
Great,
morning
thank you. Well, good morning to you, viewers. We begin What's Trending with reactions to an investigative report aired on CNN surrounding the disputed events that occurred at the Lekki Toll Gate in Lagos, Nigeria on October 20th. In a now viral video, CNN revealed that after analyzing hours of footage and working with an independent investigative network, people were killed by soldiers who fired live bullets at peaceful protesters, contrary to statements by the Nigerian Army. CNN verified that the bullets found at the crime scene were mixed ammunition. Some were manufactured in Serbia in 2005 and is currently in use by the Nigerian Army. Testimony from dozens of eyewitnesses and family members interviewed by CNN showed how the EndSARS protest was extinguished by the very same atrocities Nigerians were demonstrating against. Let's take a snippet from the CNN report. Well, here's Elisha, whose brother was allegedly killed on the night of the shooting.
Someone picked my brother's phone and called me and said that my brother Victor Sunday is among of those people that was shot at Lekki Toll Gate. And I entered into the hospital and searched. I did not see him. And we are trying our best to just find him, but there is no way to find him.
What we're about to show you is incredibly graphic, but it's also incredibly important. This is Elisha's brother Victor. The data in this footage shows it was filmed at 1:04 a.m. at Lekki Toll Gate. Elisha says he received a call about his brother's death around this time. This places Victor exactly at the location of the protest on the night witnesses say they were shot at. This is important because Nigerian authorities deny anyone was killed at the scene. Since this incident, CNN has contacted over 100 protesters and family members.
They pointed their guns at us and they started shooting.
We asked what they heard.
When we had gunshots from behind the toll.
And felt.
This is where I was shot and the bullet went through my back.
Many are in hiding. Some have fled the country. CNN tried to share these findings with the Nigerian Army but received no response. Lagos state authorities would not comment on our reporting until they said a judicial panel of inquiry presents its findings. The wait for answers here continues.
All right, well, reacting to CNN's investigation, Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Teku Buratai, while receiving members of the House of Representatives Committee on the Army, said that the Nigerian Army acted professionally and kept to the rules of engagement in handling the EndSARS protests at the Lekki Toll Gate. He added that the Army operates within the ambit of the law. He therefore called on Nigerians to feel safe while going about their businesses. The Army has scheduled a press conference to officially respond to CNN. Well, I watched this on Wolf Blitzer last night. You know, the correspondent said that the Army had responded and hopefully they'll have a press conference soon to clarify all of these allegations at this point. You know, this is an explosive report because if you recall, the Nigerian Army has said that they only used blank bullets to disperse the crowd at EndSARS protests. And now this report is revealing that live ammunition found in Serbia, like bought from Serbia by the Nigerian Army, was used. And another very important aspect of this report is the fact that 2 people were identified that died from that protest. One was, what's his name again? Victor.
Sunday.
And I want to tell you about Okon, Wisdom Okon as well. That was another person that they said died from this investigation that they carried out. And Victor Okon was last seen, and that's Victor Sunday Banga. And this is Wisdom Okon, who they said, you know, they hadn't seen him since the day of the shooting. Well, I hope that the Nigerian Army addresses this issue as soon as possible.
I mean, it just never gets easier to discuss this. You're well aware, I've made you very aware of how I feel about this topic. Since the 20th, when we've been talking about this, it's so triggering, it's so upsetting. How can we ever be discussing that peaceful protesters were shot in Nigeria in 2020, in a democracy? Before we even get to the whole issue of trying to find out the truth, which we will find out. The truth will out, one way or another. So it's just so much better for people to just come clean once and for all. I'm looking forward to that press conference by the Army, and I'm hoping that finally they will just come clean. Let us know who fired on these people, and let's see how they can be prosecuted for their crimes, because it just never, Dr. Abati, it's
very upsetting.
We've commented on this subject so many times. It looks like we'll just keep losing saliva. Now, when I saw this report yesterday, the question I asked is, okay, this panic response, is it because it is CNN, doing investigative journalism? And if it is because it's a foreign medium, the lesson we should learn from there is that whatever happens anywhere in the world, we are now in a global community. There are satellite images. People will do investigative journalism, and you won't be able to do anything about what they come up with. Now, that litigant, Kenechukwu Okeke, I think it was also reported as having said he's going to sue CNN and take CNN to court for contempt against Nigeria and the Nigerian people. Well, I'm sure CNN will not mind to be taken to court. But before the CNN report, there was an investigative report by Premium Times,
correct,
which was very detailed. Nobody talked about that. It was convenient to just ignore the local media. The standard thing is to abuse the Nigerian journalist who is trying to ask questions and who is looking for information. And, people, they will just recruit minions on Twitter to start abusing you and hack writers to respond to things they know absolutely nothing about. But what we can say is that this is from CNN. Who knows what will come up again tomorrow? So that's why it's important that the Chief of Army Staff has responded and that the Army will still respond further. Well, I can assist them. They probably will say that particular video was doctored, or what is that expression again?
Fake news,
Photoshop.
Yes.
I'm hoping against hope that we're going to get
how you Photoshop
some honesty.
The ammunition, that's my point.
So, but all of this information will be useful to the judicial panel of inquiry.
Correct.
And rather than abuse CNN, I think the military should come up with a far more robust response, other than saying, oh, we will take CNN to court. These journalists are not doing their work. Everybody teaches a journalist these days how to do his work.
Correct. But they were trending on social media yesterday. Let me take a response from a Twitter user who wrote, National Broadcasting Commission slammed 3 million naira on Arise TV for showing that same Lekki massacre video CNN has now analyzed. CNN confirmed the live rounds fired at peaceful protesters at NSA's Lekki Toll Gate were purchased from Serbia. Remember, the Army claimed they only fired blank bullets in the air. Rufai.
I mean, where do I start from? But this reminds me of the words of Donald Rumsfeld, former Secretary of State in America. And when you look at the story, and I'll do the quote of known, unknown, 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 and I'll do the quote. So it starts from unknown, unknown. On the 20th of October, there were many things we didn't know. Like Donald Rumsfeld said, there are 3 case scenarios, unknown, unknown. The 20th of October, we didn't know many things. It was still fresh. We're asking questions. The governor came on the show. He said he didn't bring the Army in. The Army is saying otherwise. From unknown, unknown, we have gotten to the point of known, unknown. There are some things we know, and there are some things we don't still know. The Army has come out to say, oh, the governor didn't invite us in. From saying we didn't, from the Army saying we were not even there at all. Now they are saying they were there, they fire blank ammo and things like that. And with this CNN report, there are some things that are known now. There are some things we know now, like the CNN has said, and it's still subject to, the inquisition of the army and coming back on all of this. But what is most important in all of this is the fact that many things will still be revealed in the coming days. Like Dr. Abati said, this is just CNN. Many people will still come out with their investigative journalism. And it's for them to put their facts forward as regards this. And that's why I asked a very salient question the other day from the NBC boss. I said, what technology did you use to ascertain that the videos that Arise played was false or were fake videos? I didn't get an answer on that. But from that CNN report, you will see that CNN used this technology software called metadata on Google Earth to be able to ascertain the time of the video. And there are many technological tools here. So in the verification process, I want the Lagos State panel, judicial panel, to employ the use of a lot of technology as they review a lot of video. There are technology tools out there, but like I said, we are at the point of known now, from unknown to unknown to known, and further days to come from now. We will still get to learn many more things about this.
All right. We'll take another story. In Saudi Arabia, where 424 Nigerians have been offered scholarship slots to study various courses in its universities. This is coming amid the feud between the Nigerian government and the umbrella body of university teachers, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, which has left many undergraduates stranded at home for 9 months. Well, on Monday, the Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia announced that this scholarship is part of a scheme that the country distributes annually to African students, adding that prospective Nigerian students could seek information on the scholarship from the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Ministry of Education. Well, in the meantime, a Nigerian named Umar Usman from Yobe State in northeastern Nigeria has made waves by defeating his counterparts from other countries at the World Chemistry Competition. Umar Usman Dangon, a graduate of chemistry education from Yobe State College of Education, took part in the Image Chemistry Competition and made it to the top 5 that appeared in the final round. He clinched the 2nd position, thereby winning a sum of $400,000. And this is such an amazing news. This was the news I was talking about, Rufai. I really wanted to take this story. I mean, this young man, Ismail from Yobe State, just goes to show, our Nigerian excellence. I mean, he defeated so many people from, different parts of the country, and he studied here. It's so amazing, Rufai. I want you to comment on this story.
I'm so excited about this. But, Oji, I've never been in doubt of our prowess in science. Look at the likes of Professor Philip Emeagwali. Look at the likes of Professor Gabriel Oyibo that propounded the God Almighty Grand Unified Theorem, Gragut Theorem. Nigerians are great scientists and they do well over the world, so I'm never in doubt. I remember there was a guy too many years ago that made the scholars list in America. The best students in American universities every year go to meet the President of America. His name was Odinaka Ikenna. He happened to come from FGC Odogbolutu, doing quite well. So there are a lot of great Nigerians. Wherever they are in the country, they are doing well. But the question, like Dr. Abati would always ask, is, do we have an enabling environment to support them? Nigerian is doing well, won $400,000. ASU is on strike. The university lecturers have not been paid. They can't go back to school. They can't help, teach other people physics, chemistry, and biology and things like that. And we forget, we need the advancement of science and technology to be able to grow our economy. See what Lee Kuan Yew did. For the next 10, 15 years in the growth of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew focused on STEM subjects. In fact, he had to develop a quota system for it. This man should be applauded. I'm so proud to be a Nigerian.
Yes, and this is another great news from Saudi Arabia as well. If you recall, last time they helped out was in May. They helped to evacuate about 292 Nigerians during the COVID-19 lockdown. I'm very excited about this news. It would help to, alleviate our stress, given that our students are still home at this point, Tundun.
I don't actually think it will. They're only like 400 and something. Yes, it's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, I know.
It's a drop in the ocean, but we're that desperate for good news now that this works. Because honestly, it's just an unrelenting wall of misery these days. So this is really good news, and I hope that the Nigerian people who benefit from that scholarship go on to have amazing careers and come home we hope, and develop Nigeria.
Or they should go and apply.
It's a drop in the ocean. It's only 400. Can you imagine the millions of students sitting at home for 9 months?
At this point, yes.
First, let me congratulate Umar Usman Dogon, the gentleman who excelled at international chemistry competition. Only this morning, we were talking sports, and we were quoting a certain Amadou Fall, who was saying that, look, the beauty of Nigeria is that it has a lot of talented people, whether it is in basketball or any other sport, and even in medicine, the fellow said. And again, we keep being reminded of the fact that, Nigerians are talented, they are brainy, they are, very resourceful, whether they are from Borno State or they are from Bayelsa or they are from, Ondo State. We have talented people. But the problem is, this Usman Dogon, you have one Usman Dogon now who has won an international prize in chemistry. There are many, thousands, millions like him who are on the streets of Nigeria as street children, as homeless children, who are carrying cans about and begging for money, right? 50 million Nigerian children out of school.
Correct.
If you focus on education and you are able to get those 15 million out of school children into the school system, then you will be able to produce more Usman Dogons. You will be able to produce more of those young girls who won an international prize in STEM. This is the whole idea. But many Nigerian children, young people, they are disadvantaged because they do not have access to quality education. If we say we have human resource, quality human resource, the way to invest in the future is to provide opportunities for those people. As for the Saudi Arabia story that you brought up, I mean, many countries of the world provide scholarships, they do cultural exchange programs as part of cultural diplomacy. Nigeria used to do a lot in that regard.
Yes.
I mean, when I was an undergraduate, I went to school with students from Cameroon, from Tanzania. There was one boy that was from Lesotho, Namibia, South Africa. They were all over the place. We used to complain then that they were enjoying more than us, because they were always very comfortable. Although I couldn't complain because I was a National Merit Award student.
Of course you were.
And I used scholarship throughout, up to PhD level. So, but the thing is, countries do it.
Yes.
Now, what has happened in Nigeria, the question we should ask, apart from that cultural diplomacy with education, do we still have scholarship schemes by the federal government for Nigerian students?
Do you know the NDDC one that they have at this point, Dr. Abati, the NDDC one they have at this point, they still have 94 of the students complaining at this point.
Yeah, but I'm saying that in those days, Nigeria too used to provide scholarships, not just for outsiders, but also for students in Nigeria. State governments used to send people abroad. When they do it now, they will forget to give them a scholarship. When they want to select the scholars probably will not be selected on the basis of merit and ability. Right. They will be chosen because this one is from the same village with a palmsec, or that one is from the same church or mosque with another big man. So all of this, there are lessons we must learn from this. We shouldn't just celebrate Usman Dogon or thank the Saudi Arabians. We are Arabians. We should use it as an opportunity to interrogate the education system framework, scholarship opportunities that we have in Nigeria too.
Good points, Dr. Abati.
Dr. Abati, I was replying, I said we have NDDC scholarship.
Yes, I said the same. Let's take another story. In the United States, President Donald Trump's supporters gathered in Washington for a self-proclaimed Million MAGA March. Some were there to celebrate Trump's victory at the election, and others were there to express their frustration over alleged voter fraud. Well, comedian and political commentator Jordan Klepper attended the rally and spoke to some of Trump's supporters. Well, let's take a look.
The winning of Donald Trump.
Oh, you're 4 years too late.
Huh?
You're 4 years too late.
What? No. He won this time.
This time?
He won.
There's people that's changing votes.
Who?
People across the United States.
Where did you hear this?
All over.
We can't ignore it. We're talking about having dead people vote, number one.
Should Trump have appealed more to the dead person vote?
Should he appeal? We just need fairness.
To me, the biggest fraud is, unfortunately, the millions of voters that voted for Biden that were brainwashed by the media.
The mail-in ballots, first of all, we all know the whole corona was to send the mail-in ballots out to steal the election, along with the voting machines are all compromised.
So wait. The corona was created to create...
The Democrats are working with the communist Chinese to put Biden in because China has blackmail on Joe Biden. That is a fact.
You have that on any T-shirt?
No.
People are stealing our election. It's obvious. This is our country. People are stealing our election.
How are they stealing the election?
Because they're putting voter fraud. It's suspicious.
How are they putting voter fraud? Department of Homeland Security said it was the most secure election America's ever.
Who's that? That's one guy like you and me, Broseph.
That's Donald.
One guy like you and me.
That's Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security.
Excellent. And so, because one person says something, that's definitely means what it is.
That's the government, and the court. Trump's lawyer said there's no fraud.
Don't try and twist me, baby. I've been in politics for a long time. Don't try and twist me, baby.
You're in politics.
I am the regional Tea Party chairman in Fredericksburg, baby.
You're the Tea Party?
I'm the Tea Party, baby.
No one seems to acknowledge that Trump's legal defense is crumbling. It doesn't matter, though. For these guys, some battles never end.
What is that? Is that Trump? That's Trump on a Confederate flag?
That's a Confederate flag, yeah.
I must have watched this 100 times, These people are not stopping. They really are relentless.
I think that was such a dazzling display of intellect and rational thinking. That's what we just watched.
Yeah. No, that's not what we just watched.
That was ironic.
What we just watched is the fallout of the President Trump campaign, making the 73 million plus people who voted for Trump to begin to feel like victims. And President Trump personally has been spreading fear and anger among his supporters. And that way, I think what he's doing is unpatriotic. There is the Trump campaign that they claim they are looking for money for the Georgia recount. But in the process, they attach to that request for funding from their, supporters base, they attach to it all kinds of hate messaging. And I think to use that platform to be promoting hate in the United States is most unfortunate. What has been happening now is that you have these people, what do they call themselves? The Patriot Boys. And
Proud Boys.
The Proud Boys. You have the 3%ers. You have marchers for Trump, out there on the streets. And in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere, we've seen direct confrontations between them and supporters. So President Trump, as his presidency winds down, is uniting the ultra-right, the conservatives, and all kinds of elements in the United States who are trying to take away the legitimacy of Vice President Trump's victory.
Vice President Biden.
There will be an end, Vice President Biden's victory, but there will be an end to it. Once the states begin to ratify the results, and then the General Services Administration, also ratifies, and the Electoral College seats, all of this will end by December 14, and the United States will be able to move forward.
I mean, somebody actually claimed that he won. No, he won, this lady. Yeah. We're fine real quickly.
What I fear is the polarity that will now emerge after this administration. And, they've started already. If you check out this news media called Newsmax, they are using Newsmax and OAN. Those are new networks. And just for the records, Trump is saying he doesn't have money to prosecute this case. Guess how much Rudy Giuliani is collecting per day to represent Trump in courts? $20,000. Speaks volumes of hypocrisy.
Yesterday.
Yes, but Lindsey Graham donated $500,000. That campaign fund, the legal fund, is it's not broke.
Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Rafai. See you tomorrow.